Hello, and welcome to Tipsy Talking with Scott and Becky. Today, we're going to tell each other a story from our past, and then I have a topic to talk about.
Well, I'm very intrigued, Becky. I just got my microphone positioned.
I have not yet told you what the topic is, so it's going to be a surprise.
Well, Becky, should we say which date we're recording this on?
This is July 15th, 2026.
June 15th.
June 15th. I don't know where I'm at. I have no idea.
Can you see your reflection okay? Or your picture?
I can.
Okay. Well, you're our better half, and you're more important than I am.
That's silly. That is so silly. Who would I talk to if you weren't here?
Yeah.
Just myself. And who wants to watch that?
Well, if you don't mind, I'll tell you a funny story.
Tell me a funny story. That's what we're here for.
I don't know how funny it is.
We'll
It was-
find out.
it
Don't
was-
be the judge of that.
It was near death. April 20th, 03.
Okay.
I'm sure you were very young back then, and congratulations.
My daughter was 2.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And may we say her name or not really?
Carly, yes,
Oh,
we can
yeah.
say her name. My baby infant, sweet infant baby child.
April 20th, 03. I'm gambling. And by the way, that's Olivia Newton-John in the background, if you must know. I'm a huge fan.
Serenading us
Yeah.
while we talk.
I love it, Olivia Newton-John. But I was traveling home from Philadelphia, Mississippi to Tuscaloosa. I was in grad school in Tuscaloosa. And I was gambling in Philadelphia, playing poker, of course. And I decided to take a nap. Now, I had left the casino in Philadelphia roughly at 2 a.m. And it's a long drive home, 2 hours and 15 minutes. And it's a moonless night, very dark. And parenthetically, it was Easter Sunday. So I pull up next to a gas station in a town called Livingston, Alabama, and take a little nap. And the weather is perfect. It's like 50. And so it's 70 inside the car. And after about an hour, some youths with guns held me up and mugged me. They bang on the window. They're all 3 pointing guns at me. They said, "Where's the money?" And thankfully, I had some money because I had won that night. Just total coincidence. So maybe I had $200 in 20s and 10s.
What a tale.
Yes, and I
What a
was
tale.
scared to death. And I get out of the car with hands up. There's no witnesses anywhere. And I said, just take the car. And this was an older car that had a leak, an oil leak.
Yeah, you're like, no, take this piece of shit. I'll file an insurance claim and buy me a new one.
Yeah, right. And by the way, this was 03 and the model of the car was, I think, 95. So it was just only 8 years old.
There was a Seinfeld episode where he like just practically gave the keys to this person, this
Yeah.
random thug. And then the thug went to steal the car and the odor in it was so bad, which is why Jerry was discarding of it to begin with.
Oh,
The odor was so bad the thief didn't even want it.
oh.
So
Well, that reminds me of this. I had a leak. It was a weird car. It was very sporty looking, but it just didn't last at all. I had problems beginning in the second year. It's called a Mazda MX-6. It was only made a few years. It was kind of a credit car. But the bottom line is they refused the car. The lead spokesperson, all 3 are holding guns against an unarmed guy that had just been asleep, who doesn't look like trouble, obviously. I was much younger than I was 33. But holding guns, and I said, "Please take the car." And we don't want the car, he says. Very even keeled.
okay, rude.
Yeah.
Disrespectful.
And then I say, "Am I about to just get it? Would they just plain murder me?" And so it says, then he says, "Where's the money?" As it was understood, I had thousands on me. So I took it out and wordlessly gave him the $240 that's on my person. And he accepted that. And it was weird. The reason I tell this story, I often think of this. There was an odd communion between us. He basically assured me that I'm not going to murder you. And I assured him with my body language that I'm going to cooperate. And it was a beautiful transaction. But I didn't take anything personally. I don't think they meant anything personally. They just saw me sleeping and knew I was a good mark.
Good mark, yeah.
And so get this. So they take it and then they sprint away. And I get back in the car, very thankful to be alive.
Amen.
They could have shot me and it probably would have been better for business. And what do? I jump in my car and get back on the highway, which is 2059 going east. If anybody familiar with Mississippi and Alabama will know that road. And I get to the next town over when I forgot what it was called, call the police from there because I was afraid these guys would see me calling the police and break our oath.
Right.
And then shoot me. So I get to that town and I go to the gas station and ask them to call the police. Did I have a cell phone in '03? I may not have. I'm not sure if I even did.
Yeah.
But the cop comes, the sheriff of that county says, you're in the wrong county now. You got to go back. So I go back west.
Listen, mister.
Yeah.
Call them.
And he did. He radioed ahead and said, meet this guy at the originating gas station where I was held up. And then they were really
Because I really want to go back to the place I was held up.
Exactly. I was a little nervous.
And I want to go back there in case and make sure they see me there talking to you.
That's a great point. And the young deputy was nonplussed. He says, Greg, what now? That's my first name. You were sleeping next to a gas station? Help me understand this.
Okay, and?
Yeah.
I'm sleepy.
My goal was to sleep between like 3 and 5:30, 3 and 6.
I've pulled over and taken a 45-minute nap before.
You got to have it.
If you're too sleepy, you've got to pull over. Would you rather me have driven sleepy, officer?
Yeah, good point. And it was such a black night, and that is such a rural area. There's just nothing between Philadelphia and Tuscaloosa. It's very rural. And that was it. That's the whole story. But I often think about that as the times where I've had trouble in life. I could just as easily have been shot that day.
Yeah, for sure.
And from a business standpoint, they probably should have shot me and just taken whatever they could get. But they were, it was so weird. I almost felt this unspoken agreement between myself and the head bad guy.
Yeah,
This is going to be okay if we just
some kind of harmonious situation.
Yeah, we're
like, we're going to be copacetic.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you the money. You're going to give me my life. Yeah. We're going to walk away from this.
You're right. So I'm watching the colors. Becky and I have a device between us that's splitting our microphone, so it's pretty fun. You notice, I know when I'm talking, it's picking up on yours though too. I'll have to figure that out. I wish what would be ideal if it weren't picking up on yours. We'll see. But anyway, thank you for listening to that anecdote. It was gratuitous. It shows my bad judgment. By the way, it's the second time I've been in an armed robbery.
It's not bad judgment. You need it. You were tired and you were driving and you pulled over to get some rest. That's smart. That's not bad judgment. That's not your fault. Like you happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. That was not on you.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's weird how passive I am though, accepting responsibility for.
I'm the worst at saying I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I apologize for existing. And it's like, calm down, Becky. I actually apologized to I was trying to talk to my boss and I was like, and she was like, why are you sorry? And I'm like, look, I'm just sorry for existing. And she's like, please never say that to me again. And I was like, I'm sorry, but that's like, I'm just sorry. I don't want to be in your way.
Yeah. By the way, how's the tent?
It's fine.
Okay, so we're in my $1 million condo here in Natick. I'm embarrassed how wealthy I am, so I'm not going to tell you where it is. Okay, go ahead, Becky.
It's embarrassing. It's ridiculous. He's told me. It's just disgusting. Okay, so I have a story. Actually, I have two stories now because your story reminded me of a story.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
So, one night we went, me and 3 of my children. I only have one biological child, but I have many children.
Yeah.
So, me and 3 of my children, including my biological child, went to this thing in Jefferson called the Runaway Freight Train for Halloween. And it was so fun. They don't do it anymore.
It was Texas.
Yes, it was fantastic. Yeah. It was so fun. If they ever open it back up, I advise everyone to go to it. It is so fun. It's so entertaining. It's awesome. Mm-hmm. So we went to the Runaway Freight Train, which is like a late night through the woods train, and they have like creepy things that pop out at you. It's really kind of fun and cute. So then it was probably about 1:00 by the time we were driving home. And we were driving home, and I happened to know if on the way home I took a certain shortcut, there would be no phone service. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, we're going to take that way. And then when I knew we were in an area with no phone service, the car broke down.
Oh, wow.
And I couldn't figure out how to fix it. The girls were freaking out. Natalie says, I'm just going to call my dad. Phones don't work there.
Mm.
And I said, okay, girls, listen. I'm going to lock all the doors and I'm just going to start walking until I can find a house and I'll get us some help. They're all hysterical. They're in tears. They don't want me to leave. It's just a horrible situation. And then finally, I tell them, April Fools. The car was not broken at all.
Oh my
I had been
gosh.
playing with them, but they were like sobbing in the back seat. And I finally decided the joke had gone too far. And I got in the driver's seat and I cranked the car and I was like, I'm sorry, here we go. But they were so scared and it was so funny. But they'll all remember that. If any of them listen to this podcast, they'll remember that moment and they'll be like, I remember when she did that to us and it wasn't cool. But okay, so
I was surprised I didn't think you had that gear for deception.
you don't know me.
Yeah.
I absolutely do have a gear for deception. Um, so it was probably circa
Sure, God. You're good at this.
2020. No, 2002. I was maybe 2003. I was a late teen.
Mhm.
And my daughter was at my sister-in-law spending the night, and I had been out somewhere, and I was coming home, and it was about 11:30 at night. So I walk up on my porch, I get my keys out, I start to unlock my door, and someone pops up out of this big giant bush in front of our house and is like, "Hey." I immediately maced them. No questions asked. It's 11:30. What are you doing in my bushes?
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. You have no business being there.
Yeah.
Turns out it was my neighbor. And so all I did was I screamed, "The hose is over there." And I ran in the house and locked the door.
O's.
For your eyes. Because I know they're burning.
Oh,
I just
oh, oh.
pepper sprayed the snot out of him. And I was like, "The hose is over there." Lock.
Did he go to the doctor or anything?
I have no idea. I never talked to him again. Because here's the thing. What are you doing in my bushes at 11:30? I don't care who you are. You have no business in my bushes at 11:30 at night.
He could have jingled his keys or something.
But what was he doing
Yeah,
there?
good point. Was he, do you think he had bad intent?
I can't think of a good intent at 11:30 at night sneaking up on somebody
Yeah.
from the bushes. Like, I mean, maybe he had good intentions.
Mm.
I have no idea what they might have been.
Mm.
I don't care. Do not pop up on me in the bushes. Because I will pepper spray you in a heartbeat with no questions asked.
You must have had it on your fingers on it already.
It was on my key ring.
Oh, yeah. So you're prepared.
I was ready. I was ready. I was like, come at me. I wish you would start something with me. So
There's something about you that's rough and ready, that you're adaptive.
I am adaptive.
Yeah.
I had a child at 17.
Mm-hmm.
My brother's kids moved in with us when I was 15. I had to be adaptive.
Yeah.
Like, I was taking 3 kids to the grocery store when I was 14 years old.
Yeah.
Like, you have to adapt. You have to be on your toes. You have to always be ready to go the next direction.
Yeah.
Because you never know where life's going to take you next.
Yeah.
You got to be rough and ready. You're right.
You are rough and ready. You have an adaptiveness.
I've been through a lot of rough stuff, so I'm
Yeah.
rough and ready.
But you still have a white collar veneer to you. So I don't want to revisit it too much, but I met you in a white collar context and you're an HR executive and you did a great job. And that's how I met you. So you can't tell that, it doesn't leak in.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I try to be just a well-rounded person.
Yeah. And you're still young.
Every day I'm getting older.
Well, if you live, you could be just 1/3 of the way through your life.
I could be.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, the women, Becky, don't say it. Don't say it. The women in my family live a long time
Yeah.
because evil doesn't die easily.
Yeah.
So we tend to live to like 105.
So you've had relatives that old?
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
My great grandma was 105.
Wow.
My grandma is 92.
Huh.
She's still kicking.
Well, that's meatloaf, in case you're interested. I'm a huge meatloaf fan. That's
I
impressive.
make really good meatloaf.
Oh, yeah.
I make delicious meatloaf. My daughter, like, the only meatloaf she will eat is mine.
Well, you got me intrigued.
I have to make you a mean meatloaf one night.
Oh, I like that.
I love to make meatloaf.
Well, yeah, you're very. I remember. Okay, I told this in the last podcast, but I'll say it briefly this time. I got in some trouble with my health when I was at Stephen F. Austin State. Becky was an HR executive there, and she was very helpful with me, very kind. So we were very polished back then. But then even earlier, 2 years before that, Becky advised us on a hire, and she really put her foot down on some material matters, ethically and legally.
I was a bit of a boss bitch.
Yes. And I just distinctly remember you sitting at the head of the table, telling us what time it was.
Not be more confident about any training in my life than I was about search committee training. I was so confident. I was like, "Don't come at me with any kind of backlash because I have got you." Okay, like I know this training
Yeah.
forward and backward. You're not going to tell me nothing I don't know already.
I do remember that. One of the things you said was about social media and looking them up on Rate My Professors and whatnot. And one of our people violated it.
Yeah.
But I could one day when we're not on the podcast, I could tell you more stories about that.
Mhm. I
Uh,
don't want-
okay.
I know people didn't listen to me.
No.
Fair, but it doesn't make it okay.
But I actually liked somebody setting down rules, and I think I was that way.
There should be rules.
Yeah.
That's to protect the
Yeah.
entity as well as the
Yeah,
applicant.
yeah,
Like there has to be rules.
yeah. You're exactly right. And
And
I,
people think they're cute, then they violate those rules and they put the university at a great risk for a lawsuit.
you know, that's a great point. And I've witnessed a few gray things. It does raise some questions, like what if you have candidates that are clearly not the same age, that may be as much as 20 years apart, and
It's irrelevant.
it's just, there's with the human element though, I don't know how you factor it out, just mentally.
But you have to.
Yeah,
You have to like stop. You have to put your feelings aside and look at paper facts.
yeah, I agree.
And like because age can't take be in consideration.
I think organizations need more people like you acted that day, which made a great impression. And I wasn't the only one that said so. You might remember Sylvia.
I do.
She appreciated it too. It's nice to, in so many contexts, even adults feel like toddlers, and we need guidance, or we appreciate guidance. You could argue that young children want to be told what to do.
They absolutely do. They need to.
Yeah.
They need structure and direction.
Yep.
And sometimes adults need structure and direction too.
Yep. I've often felt that way. Like when my dad came to visit me, I was 50 years old. That's when I was first diagnosed, and he kind of fussed at me a couple times. He said, "Like, snap out of it." And as crazy as that sounds, I guess back then he would have been 73 and I was 50, but it was actually kind of appreciated. I kind of needed the slap. If
He
you will.
had to do it to
Yeah.
you. He loved you too much not to.
Yeah. I'm looking at our colors here. I wonder, they're both firing away. We'll see how it works.
Yeah.
Wait.
If at any point you want to stop it and listen back and we can see what's happening, we can do that.
What do you think? Okay, let's do that.
Okay.
All right. Gosh, I'm so sorry to stop it because you're doing so good.
No, we can always pick back up.
Okay, we're pausing. We're gonna see if any hookups happened. Thanks for waiting. Only 18 minutes.
Okay. I think we got everything settled now. We just had to make sure all our sound was going well because last time we had a little bit of issues. So we're trying to make sure it works better for you guys this time. Okay.
And I think it is.
Okay. So I have a topic.
I'm intrigued. You're very topical.
So abortion.
I didn't expect that. You might be referring to that couple on the internet.
I'm not referring to a couple on the internet. I'm just referring to it in general.
Okay.
Okay. So let me just tell you, I'm entitled to my opinion as an adult American. If you're going to be like Texas and ban abortion, then there should be mandatory maternity leave, and there should be mandatory child support, and there should be mandatory health services available, and that should all be a given if you're going to make abortion illegal. Because basically if you're going to force a woman to have a child, then you need to provide for her to take care of that child. Because if you're not going to give her a choice in her autonomy in her body, then you at least need to give her the tools she needs to continue to have a job.
Well, what made you start thinking?
Because today I saw something else about it, and there actually is another state that has made some really amazing abortion laws, that allows for abortions.
Which one is it?
I can't remember. It's up. They allow for abortions up to 18 weeks, no questions asked. And then they allow abortions after that if there's like a medical reason or a mental health reason or something like that. The woman still has the opportunity to say no. And I mean, like, here's the thing: men aren't held accountable. Why do women have to be? Two people laid in that bed and made that baby. Why is it all the woman's responsibility now to deal with it?
Well,
And she doesn't get a choice whether or not she has that baby.
it sounds like you've really thought it through.
I have thought it through. I'll be totally and completely honest. I have had an abortion in the past,
Yeah.
and I saved that baby from a life of abuse. So that was the right choice. And I have no regrets. I don't feel guilty about it. That baby's better off not having been born to that father.
Well,
And why are women now not given that opportunity?
what is your? It's been roughly 4 years. In fact, I think it was 4 years ago. This month, wasn't it June of 22 that Roe was overturned? If I
Yeah.
got it right.
Under whose administration?
That
Never
was,
mind.
maybe I got the date wrong. Because 22 would have been Biden.
No, it wasn't overturned under Biden.
I must have the date wrong. I can't remember. I thought it was 22. I could be mistaken. Because the reason that comes to mind is it would have been 49 years. Because Roe didn't quite make it 50 years. Roe is January 73. And I believe it was overturned in the summer of 22. So it may have less to do with Biden than the Supreme Court justices that were in place in June of 22. I'm pretty sure it was 22, though. Because they often said 49 years, they didn't quite make it to 50. But I don't know what the state of things are since Roe was overturned, if it was 22.
Well, in Texas, they've now passed a law that makes the baby a live person at conception, which is absolutely ludicrous. Like, that's so ridiculous. It is a clump of cells for the longest time that has no feeling. Like, I just don't understand why men are allowed to just walk away scot-free and women have to face the consequences no matter what. Their job's not going to work with them. People around them are going to shun them. Like, they have so much more to deal with than a man does. But yet we're taking all of the woman's choices away. But the man's allowed to do whatever he wants to. And I think that's completely unfair. Like, there are reasons, like, even like in Texas, even in the instance of rape or incest, you can't get an abortion. So I have to carry my rapist's baby and deliver it? It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
I have to be honest. I haven't. If I were going to tell the whole truth and nothing but it, I don't have scarcely kept track of it. I'm in a pretty advanced age, 56, no children, never married. And it's just never confronted me as a main issue. I will say I do have a Catholic background. Raised in Louisville, Kentucky, Catholic grade school, high school, and then went to a Catholic college in Dayton, Ohio, University of Dayton. And always identified strongly as Catholic. So we do hear pretty blunt assertions about abortion in the Catholic Church. It's,
Well, I'm Baptist. So I have been raised with very strong opinions
Yeah.
about abortion as well, but I disagree.
Yeah. Well, what would you? I'll tell you the reason I mentioned this couple on the internet. This is just about 10 days ago. They were due to have a baby, and they film everything that they do. So they filmed opening some envelope that had descriptions of their, do I want to say baby that was 3 or 4 months old, whatever have you. And it appeared to be the case that the baby had Down syndrome. And then they let it be known that they would have an abortion. And you can imagine the discourse that's happened. I forgot their last name. It's a young couple. Well, they might be 32. They're not terribly young. But it's been an intense conversation, you could say.
Okay, well, that's okay. That's a good conversation.
Yeah.
What if they know that they can't handle a special needs child?
Uh-huh.
What if they know they don't have the patience or the experience to do it?
Yeah.
Would you rather that special needs child be born into a family that doesn't want it?
Well, that's an interesting point. Now, others have, with Down syndrome children, have.
And that's the other thing, too. It goes so far beyond that. Because if you're going to ban abortion, okay, who's going to take care of that child? Who's going to provide medical insurance? Who's going to provide groceries? Who's going to take care of that child that you demanded that that woman have? Is that her responsibility now? She didn't have a choice. The man is gone. And she's sitting here with all the responsibility and no choices. And I think that's not fair. That's not right.
If you were if you could make a ruling, if you were on the Supreme Court, how would you govern abortion?
I would do it the same way that other state did.
Do you remember what state it was?
I don't remember. But basically, they say 18 weeks, no questions asked.
Yeah.
You don't even have to have a parent's consent up to 18 weeks, which is also really good. Not that I would have had an abortion at my age, because I wouldn't have, but it's nice to have that as an option for underage girls.
Oh, yeah.
And then after 18 weeks, there has to be an actual reason. And I think that that is perfectly fair and perfectly logical. Because I don't think not having it at all is the answer.
Well, I remember having these conversations at college at the University of Dayton when I was a senior. There was a ruling, and I can't remember what it said, but it was the name of the ruling, or the case was Casey, Casey versus somebody. And it, as I understand it, it was a bit of a win for the anti-abortion side. I can't remember what the particulars were. But that was another period in which the conversation grew emotional in this country. So you had Roe in 22, but this other decision in 92, and it forced a conversation, I guess you could say. I'll just admit that I don't mean to be self-absorbed or what have you, but it's never come close to affecting me. I've never invested much energy into looking into it.
And the problem is the people making these decisions are in the same position as you.
Yeah.
It hasn't really affected them.
Yeah.
Because they're men.
Yeah.
I mean, not to be rude,
Yeah.
but like they're men. It's never been a reality to them that I'm gonna have to raise this child. This is a lifelong commitment that I'm making. And the dad doesn't necessarily have to make that commitment.
Yeah.
He can disappear. He can evade child support.
Yeah.
Like he can do whatever he wants to. Whereas the woman has no choice. Now she has a baby that is a lifelong commitment.
Yeah.
And why should she have to make that? Why should she not have a choice when the men can just disappear? And like I said, not only that, who's going to care for that child that wasn't wanted? The foster system? Really? I mean,
Yeah. That's an interesting point. I'd hate to be in government. I wouldn't know how to act.
I just think people without uteruses should not be making these decisions. Because it doesn't affect you. Not like it affects us.
I did in the late 90s. I was with a young lady. Of course, I was young. I was in my 20s. And then again in 2010, I think it was, or 9 or 10, there were a few pregnancy scares. And we had some blunt conversations, the female and I did, of what we would do. But thankfully, they were not pregnant. So, but I do remember the anguish of considering that especially myself back then,
But the good news is
Yeah.
you had a decision to make.
Yeah, it's a fair point. Yeah.
Now we don't have a decision to make. If we get pregnant, that's just the way that it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point.
And how demeaning and disrespectful to women to not allow them bodily autonomy.
Well, if I'm going to throw something out there, just
Who's
shoot me.
taking men's rights away? I'm just asking. Nobody.
You,
Just saying.
I think it is time for you to run for office. On the other end, I'm just going to throw this out there. How do we evaluate women that are anti-abortion? What do you?
Again, it's just never affected them.
I have to think about that. I'm.
And I know someone who has had an abortion who is very anti-abortion because her abortion was a traumatic experience for her.
Yeah.
And I'm very sorry to
Yeah.
hear that, but not everybody has that experience.
Mm-hmm.
And her experience was also decades ago. So things have changed a lot from the time that she did it versus now. So I don't think someone who has decades old experience should really say anything about now because the experience is very different now. I went through it. It was very compassionate. It was very caring. It was very gentle. And it's different now. You know, it's a very gentle, caring experience. And they make sure they actually make you they do an education with you and then they make you go home for 24 hours and think about it. And then
Oh,
you're
yeah, I didn't
able
know that.
then you're able to come back if you want to.
And do you think what was the nature of their education?
Just kind of like here are your options. There's adoption, there's these programs that might be able to help you. There's this and this and this. But again, all programs are income based. So it's like if you make over a certain cap, you don't get any help. But the cap is poverty line. So I mean like just because you're not in poverty doesn't mean you don't need help. You know, like it's God, I can't. As growing up as a single mother, there's just nobody to help you. And so you're forcing women who aren't ready to have these babies, and then no one takes care of those babies.
On what the end I've been compelled by is the health of the mother, or if it threatened her very life.
And in Texas now, even if it threatens her life, you can't have an abortion.
This incident with me in 2010, I was 40. I think that was 2010. I'm pretty sure it was now. And unbelievably, she was also 40. So what are the odds that two 40-year-olds would conceive? And it looked as though we did, although thankfully it was a false alarm. But anyway, we started to think about that in terms of, gosh, what are the implications? To be honest, I don't think we would have had an abortion under any circumstance. But nonetheless, it was sort of, we had those conversations, I guess you could say. So, as a Catholic person, and to be honest, I was just at Mass Saturday night. We're recording this on a Monday. We heard a reference to abortion at Mass and the offering. And I think everybody in attendance is essentially anti-abortion. That was largely the case at my college. I had more of an opinion about it as a youth than I do now, especially around Casey when I was 22 years old. But the position I guess I've always been in, I could never run for office. I could never make those declarations. Is that to say I'm pro-choice? I don't know. Honestly, you surprised me. I didn't expect to talk about this. Have I ever earnestly reflected on this since I was a youth? Not really. I haven't. Because I've been so insulated.
Well, to be honest, as somebody who was sexually abused and sexually assaulted, if that had resulted in a pregnancy, it would have devastated my mental health. Absolutely destroyed my mental health.
Yeah.
And is it worth it? Is it worth it for that 15-year-old or 14-year-old or 13-year-old to give birth? 10-year-old? Is it worth it to destroy their mental health?
Well, I guess if I had to confess, my default position has been anti-abortion. However, have I ever really invested in a conversation? Have I ever run for office? Of course not. And I'd have to. You made a compelling case. Who else said that? We were just talking about Fleetwood Mac before we started recording. Stevie Nicks. Stevie Nicks has been blunt about her history with abortion, as have others. So, I mean, I certainly don't judge or.
Well, and that's I'm not at all ashamed of the time that I had an abortion. I rescued that baby.
Yeah.
I wasn't strong enough to leave yet myself, but I saved a baby.
Yeah.
And that's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
That baby doesn't have to go through that abuse
Yeah.
for 18 years plus.
That was my stomach. Well, have you considered? You are very obviously well spoken. You're the star of our podcast. Have you thought about any kind of, I don't know what the word is, but activism or being a
I
spokesperson?
do protest.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I've been at all but one of the No Kings protests.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I drive past and I see him at the corner where the police station is.
I go to the ones in Tyler with Carly. Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
So you're not a fan of the Donald?
Have we not made that clear? And then the UFC fight on the White House lawn like white trash. Don't even get me started. Our nation's capital, our most sacred building, the White House, has an octagon on the front lawn and they're UFC fighting. Are you joking? Are you joking right now? We've destroyed the East Wing Ballroom. We've set up a UFC fighting ring on the front lawn of the Look, really, are we joking?
There are many ways in which
Deal with it.
there are many ways in which I'm sympathetic with the Donald. He will break eggs and make an omelet. I think this Iran thing has been.
He's a piece of garbage trash that needs to be set on fire.
Well, I guess I was just going to throw out that he has, some would say, half the country would say, redeeming qualities. But however, there are garish things
I
that
doubt it. The country now.
you think it's fewer.
I think it's way fewer. His approval rating is like 36%.
Okay.
So it's way less than half the country now.
We'll call it a third. But I do find things that he does to be jaw-dropping.
To say the least.
The fighting on the White House lawn, I was a little shocked. And the other thing was he sells watches. Trump watches.
He also sells Trump Bibles.
Oh, yeah,
Did you know
Bibles and whatnot. So, but what I think he does, this is going to sound crazy, is that there's a term in baseball called effectively wild. So you have a pitcher that might hit the batter, he might throw far outside, he's up, he's down, and the batter has their attention so spread that they become less effective. They don't know what to expect. And to some degree, I think Donald's craziness, he knows that selling watches and all this garbage might be a little garish, but he's effectively distracting people.
Okay, here's the problem. That's
Yeah.
okay in baseball.
Yeah.
That's not okay for the President of the United States of America. Baseball is fine. It's a game.
It is okay.
This is not a game. This is our country. And he is making it into a sideshow game.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he's doing. It's an absolute circus. Everyone in the world is making fun of us right now. We're clowns. Go ahead, defend him.
Well, I see it that way possibly sometimes, that there are things that are embarrassing.
Do you on Facebook?
Yes.
Laughing at us.
But
Because we're
one thing I just might throw out there is that when push comes to shove, it's understood that the US of A will solve a problem. For example,
We'll
COVID.
create a problem now that we have Donald Trump as president. We'll create a war to distract from Epstein files.
Well,
And then we'll back down on the war because we shouldn't have started it to begin with and look like total idiots to the entire world. Yeah, we're doing a great job. We're really top tier right now.
well, maybe I throw something out, and I'm watching this candle. Can you smell that candle? It's really strong. But What about the COVID vaccines? We're in the middle of this crushing pandemic. And where did the COVID vaccine
He
come from?
handled that so terribly.
You think?
I absolutely do. We should have been shut down earlier, just like all of the rest of the world was.
Hmm.
All of the rest of the world got to get off a lockdown a lot earlier in the United States because we would refuse to play by the rules because we're all independent. Like, God Almighty. And he was a huge part of that, like making the decision of when to shut everything down.
Yeah.
He should have shut it down when everybody else shut everything down. And then we'd have been opened up a lot earlier.
Hmm.
But he chose to wait because we're America and we don't have to shut down. And now, look where we ended up. We were in lockdown forever because we wouldn't play by the rules. I mean, like, and that's on everybody. That's on all the anti-maskers. That's on everybody. Because you all played a part in keeping us closed down longer than we needed to be. Because all the rest of the world opened up earlier because they didn't have an idiot for president. And they weren't idiots themselves. And they played by the rules instead of being like, oh, I'm American, I'm independent, I can do what I want, I have freedom of speech. Okay, yes, you do, but it's a pandemic. And we've never seen anything like this before. So shut up and stay in your house.
I've never seen you like this.
I'm sorry, it's just frustrating. My dad died of COVID. Like, COVID is a very serious thing to me, and no one took it seriously. And it's like, I think probably 30% of people took it really seriously.
You're right. That's a good point. I was faithful about wearing masks, but I sure got irritated.
I was faithful about everything because I'm immunocompromised,
Yeah.
and my dad passed away. So I wore a mask longer than anybody else. Like during flu season, sometimes I'll still wear a mask, just because I don't want to take any extra chances. I'm immunocompromised. But people don't care about that. People care about what is my experience. If I'm not going to be badly affected by it, I don't care. You're not considering all the people that can't help it that are going to be negatively affected. Like people who have immunocompromised systems. You know, like it's fine for you to go out and get COVID, but if you spread it to somebody who's immunocompromised, it's not okay for them. And so it's just, I'm just frustrated.
Yeah, I remember your dad was quite young, 63, right?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Well, what do you want to see happen? As I can tell your basic persuasions in 2028. Got a couple years here.
I would like the same laws that other state has.
Well, just, I mean, for president broadly. So one would say if you lean left, and you might lean a little left, that they're going to do, the Dems will do very well in 26 for congressional elections. But then, do you have a favorite presidential candidate?
I don't yet. I haven't done enough research yet.
Well, the ones that strike me as plausible is the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, Buttigieg, the former transportation guy, and gosh, there's a few others. Harris. So maybe Harris will. She has essentially declared that she is interested.
If we weren't so disgusted by the thought of a female president, we would not be in the situation we're in right now.
Well,
Because men would rather elect a piece of trash than a woman.
what was it? Okay.
And what, women are too emotional to lead? Okay, who's on Twitter at 1 a.m. talking shit to other countries? I mean, seriously, we're too emotional? At least we don't get on Twitter every 5 seconds talking about all of our business.
Well, what it was rather close. You could say Harris only
It was
lost
very close,
by 1 point.
as it should have been.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't have been close. He shouldn't have won, but
How now, and not for nothing, Hillary actually won the popular way back 10 years ago. So
popular doesn't mean anything, does it?
yeah, it was kind of a shocker.
Even though it should, because the popular vote is who the people want.
Yeah. Well, it is weird how that works. I remember when I was in grad school, I was curious. I think what election was it? 2000. I was like, why is this in place? Why do we have this electoral college? And I to be honest, I'm embarrassed to say I don't quite understand why that is. It does seem to vex Americans, and I think they would prefer to not have
Yeah,
it.
I think so too. Because I think popular opinion should take precedence over electoral votes.
Yeah.
Because popular opinion is who the people chose.
Yeah.
Then electoral votes come in, and that's who decides who's president. And it's like, but no, look at who the people chose.
Yeah. And I remember, just as a hypothetical, it compelled people. We had that happen in 2016. I'm not sure if there were any others, just those two recently, where Bush beat Gore in 2000, and in 16 it was, of course, Trump over Clinton. But would I can understand the position of candidate that actually won the popular, as Al Gore did. It's so odd about him that he faded after that. He never really thought he would.
Where did he go?
Yeah,
Is
it was
he okay?
well, and he was a young guy back then.
Did he disappear?
He was only 54, youthful looking, but then he went and really adopted his pet concern, which was global warming.
Unsolved mysteries.
Yeah.
Where is Al Gore today?
Well, it's odd he got divorced. I don't know, probably about 15 years ago, and I don't think he ever remarried. And come to think of it, I'm not sure they got divorced. They decided they're parting ways, but they both have their own sweethearts. So yeah, I'm not really sure what happened to him.
Where is Al Gore now? Al Gore is primarily based in Nashville, Tennessee, where he lives on his family farm and runs the Climate Reality Project, the global environmental nonprofit organization he founded in 2005. So he's okay. He's doing fine.
Well, he's done very well. As I understand it, that movie was very lucrative for him. The Inconvenient Truth. And some other things. So he's become an authority. He's kind of like Michael Moore. Were you into the Michael Moore movies?
No. What were they?
Bowling for Columbine, Fahrenheit 9/11.
I didn't see any of those.
They were kind of, and the original one from the 80s, 87, I think, was called Roger and Me. But they're from a left perspective. And Michael Moore's very left. But Gore had his own movie about global warming. What's your gut on that? What do you think? Since we already did abortion.
I think that we really, 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 really need to take it seriously.
Mhm.
And we need a president in place that also takes it very, very seriously. Because, like, especially with AI data centers, we're looking at running out of fresh water within 10 years. Because AI takes up so much water. And everybody's using AI to put pictures of themselves with candy canes and all this other stupid stuff that takes so much of our water, you don't realize what you're doing to the planet.
Yeah.
Like AI data centers take incredible amounts of waters to keep them cool.
Okay. I did not know that.
Yes. So every time you make a stupid fake AI image,
Yeah.
you're using gallons and gallons of our drinking water.
Mhm.
And so, like, my company, and I even asked this question, my company is really pushing like Copilot, like to help with writing things and stuff like that, writing emails and things like that. And I've asked them, like, how do you plan on balancing the global detriment that you're causing with what we're doing? Like, what are you doing to balance that out?
Mhm.
And no one's been able to give me an answer yet. But I'm like, you don't understand how much water this is taking up. Like, literally, it's projected we run out of fresh water in 10 years with the AI data centers that are popping up.
I want to tell you where Gore and some others have hamstrung themselves a little bit. 20 odd years ago, really going back to the late 90s, they predicted things that just didn't come true, such as parts of Florida being underwater and that sort of thing.
Right.
They were a bit alarmist.
But you know what? Is it better to err on the side of caution when it comes to our planet? Maybe. I mean, just thinking.
You are in the wrong occupation. I seriously, and I've thought about this about some people that work at SFA, that they could be activists, and I think they'd be a lot happier.
Well, the thing is, like, for instance, my daughter,
Yeah.
she's scared to have children because we're projected to run out of water in 10 years. And she's like, how do I bring a child into this world when we're going to run out of water in 10 years? What happens when that drinking water is gone? What are we going to do? Like, is this going to become like a post-apocalyptic situation where nobody has any water?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's a real threat to our planet. And so she's like, how can I bring a child into the world when we're projected to run out of water? And I'm like, I don't know, but I want grandkids. But no, but I understand what she's saying though, because like so many people don't care. So many people aren't even educated on the fact that it's using so much of our water. But it really does use tons and tons of water every time you invest in AI. And so like I said, the projection is that we really run out of water in 10 years. And like what are we doing about that?
I've heard that about some agricultural products like almonds. It takes a gallon of water to create one almond or something like that. I didn't quite get it, but
I believe it.
kind of shocking.
It is shocking how fast water disappears.
Mhm.
And I mean like there is a finite amount of water. Like there's only so many springs that we can tap into.
Yeah.
Like eventually those springs are going to dry up and then what are we going to do?
Mm.
You know, what I mean like we have to not waste water. And to make yourself in a candy cane jumpsuit is a bit of a waste of water in my opinion.
Have you ever done an image?
I have not.
It's astonishing. I use Grok just to clown around, and I'll say, "Give me Abe Lincoln in a Yankees ball cap."
For
And
what? For what? You know how much water you're wasting? For what? To see Abe Lincoln in a ball cap? Come on now.
it's a funny diversion. Every time I do a Google search, it gives me the co-pilot sort of output,
Yep. Yeah.
which I'm so impressed with. Um, I'm just amazed at how authoritative it
Do
is.
you know that it will tell you that pregnant women are supposed to smoke 6 to 8 cigarettes a day?
So it's sometimes false, apparently.
Yeah, because they openly admitted that if the AI doesn't know the answer, it
Yeah,
will make something up.
I see.
It refuses to say I don't know the answer.
Um,
How dangerous is that for people using the internet?
yeah.
That AI is going to make something up.
One thing I've done is refresh the screen if I'm seeking a piece of advice. So you may remember the last time we talked on Wednesday. I had an odd ethical conundrum, not too serious, but one romantic partner gave a gag gift of a class ring to the other a few years ago. They broke up long ago, and the question was, should they just discard of the gift or give it back?
Absolutely not. They should give it back.
Yeah, and I typed that into the Google search bar, and when I refresh, it gives subtly different answers.
That's because it's making things up because it doesn't have an answer. So every time you refresh, it's going to be a different answer because it's made up every time.
I do wonder how it comes to a conclusion without any strong
It's
evidence.
made up.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
they admitted that.
mm,
They admitted that AI will make up an answer. It will not say it doesn't know.
yeah. Okay.
So it'll tell pregnant women to smoke 6 to 8 cigarettes a day.
I seldom use it. I take pride in my own writing and my own research, but if I were in a jam, I'll say something a little dark here. I'm convinced that a Catholic priest that I know uses AI for his homilies,
Oh,
and I'm a
scandal.
I'm appalled because that is the one thing you should cherish and make your own. I would think.
That's scandalous.
Yeah.
You should expose him. Who is he? I'll expose him.
In my opinion, if I were a parish priest, I would take tremendous care to write that homily because that's the only part of the mass you have input into. It's the rest of it's defined.
Right. The homily is supposed to be about, like, it's supposed to be your own words that God has led you to provide,
Exactly.
not AI.
Yeah.
Because AI will make up an answer if it doesn't know.
Well, it might be some fairly, anodyne sentiments about the meaning of Christmas, or
But then is it human anymore?
well, that's exactly my point. And when I see him reading or hear him reading it, it occurs to me that uh, it's not his own words.
Then that's not the words of God.
Yeah, and I'm a little shocked at him. I think can't you just sink 40 minutes into writing your own stuff?
As you should.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not from God if you're using AI to write it.
I agree. I'm a little shocked at him.
Ugh.
I do like this priest. He's not much older than me. He's probably mid-60s, 10 years older, but I think he could work a little harder to write his own stuff. And I wonder how often people do that. I just take too much pride. That's the only thing I do well is the written word. I'm good at that.
Only thing I use AI for,
Mm.
and I will admit that I've done this, is on my review.
Mm. Your review
I will use AI to help me write my self review.
for your performance review
Yes.
at your place. Okay.
Yes, because I'm not comfortable talking good about myself.
Mhm.
So I use Copilot to help me write what I should write.
Mhm.
But that's the only time I use AI is on my review. I've used it 2 years in a row.
Wow. So how long have you been at this organization?
It'll be 4 years in July.
Wow, you're doing well.
I love it.
And you are a star.
I love it there.
And you could live anywhere.
Yeah, I can move anywhere. I can work from Alaska if I wanted to. I could work from the Caribbean if I wanted to. I could work from anywhere.
I would, if you moved to Alaska, I'd follow
I'm not going to go to Alaska.
you. Right now, today's June 15th. This coming Saturday will be the solstice. So they'll have the longest day this
This
coming
coming
Saturday.
Saturday, I'm helping my daughter move. So it's going to be the longest day of the year while I help my daughter move.
Where's she going? Well, where's she going?
She's going to Dallas area.
So you're going all the way to Tyler, then driving to Dallas.
No, no, not this Saturday.
Oh,
This Saturday, we're just packing.
oh, I see.
Next Saturday, I'll probably drive to Dallas with her.
Oh, well, I'm very intrigued.
I
Well,
can't
I
wait to see her
I
house.
haven't met Carly yet. I'm intrigued.
You'll have to meet her.
Yeah. And in fact, you and I just met each other 4 or 5 weeks ago.
We didn't meet each other.
Yeah.
We reconnected.
Yeah, we reconnected.
We met each other many years ago.
2018,
Yeah.
before electricity.
Before electricity, when the dinosaurs roamed the earth in 2018.
When Abe Lincoln was president.
Yes. Honest Abe. Never forget him.
Well, Becky, I'm serious. I think there is almost no upper limit on what you could do in terms of activism or even running for office. What about it?
Well, I'm more than happy to be like, I go to like, when I'm able to, I go to like the pride parades, I go to the protests.
Mhm.
Like, I'm as active as I can be.
You know, I could just see you being a spokesperson. And I've thought about this with people at SFA that I think they're nominally college professors, but I think they'd prefer to be activists. In fact, we got a guy here in NAC that ran for U.S. Congress. You might know him. His name is Beal. Um, roughly my age, I would guess. But he ran against the guy who's our congressperson from this area. I can't think of his name. That's terrible, isn't it? You know the name, but he ran against him. But it's hard to be. He was a Democrat, and it's hard to win.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think I admire people that can run for office. I wouldn't even know where to start. Oh, I saw Beto at the hotel,
Yeah.
March of 22, and I told my poker buddies, I had just met
I
them.
voted for him.
Yeah. Oh, you did? Well, I had just met them.
Freaking Greg Abbott.
And I got to be honest with you, this was an outdoor event in March. It was a very nice night, 65 degrees, perfect.
Ted Cruz.
You don't like him either?
I don't like him either.
He bungled that storm.
Way to go to the Caribbean when we're in the middle of
I
that ice
can't
storm.
believe he
Way
was-
to go, you coward.
That was
You
shocking.
piece of trash.
But Beto at the hotel, I'm going to be honest with you, he's just a little too saccharine. He's like a central casting candidate. He just doesn't have that oomph, that edge. Whereas I think if I were a Democrat, I would prefer AOC over Beto. AOC has a right cross. She's got a jab.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
she's punctuate. She knows how to make an impression better.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Beto is just too, I don't know how to put it. But
Passive, maybe.
yeah, he's passive and trying to be everything all at once, he winds up being almost nothing, and he's not memorable enough.
Right,
Um,
right. Because if you stand for everything, then
Yeah.
you stand for nothing.
yeah, and he might be just too good looking. He's in perfect shape. He's a Tarzan physique. He's absolutely in perfect shape. And I just wonder if
I don't see him as a Tarzan physique.
I don't know. When I saw, I was like 6'3" and is pretty muscular. I thought he was in good shape, but I don't know what it was. He just didn't connect. The audience, he wanted to say things that they wanted to hear, without having a little oomph to it.
You have to speak on things you have conviction about. If you don't, then it doesn't come across as passionate.
Yeah, I agree. And the small error that he made, I thought was stupid. He put an SFA ball cap on, and people would just sniff that stuff out. The pandering, it's silly.
Yeah, yeah. We know that you're pandering to us.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to pander, just be honest.
Yeah, just be honest. And it was okay. And to be honest,
And tell us what we want to hear because you believe it,
great point.
not because we want to hear it.
That's a great point.
Like believe it
Yeah.
or don't say it.
He was passable, but I do find it interesting. And he's not much younger than me. He might be 54. He's never really come close to winning. And I think he needs some coaching. And I don't know what I would
Yeah.
tell him to make
Well,
it
you either have that charisma or you don't.
something.
And
Yeah.
I wonder if he just doesn't.
I think whereas AOC, if you're a liberal Dem, you're going to love her. She has just got a punch. I would say she's formidable. Same with Buttigieg. I think Buttigieg is a lot smarter than Beto. He's just better at turning a phrase, better spontaneously. So he's got a better chance. Or Newsom. Now Newsom has the good looks affliction. He's even better looking than Beto, probably. But somehow he's more talented, and I can't put a finger on him.
Well, there is a something to be said for just natural talent and charisma.
Yeah,
Like either it's your thing or it isn't.
yeah. And I've often wondered, like somebody like Mitch McConnell, who's from my home state, never was a good-looking guy or particularly charismatic, but he somehow made it work.
He must have had a passion.
Yeah, and maybe he campaigned on some narrow issues or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
And I've often thought about that.
People can feel if you're passionate or you're pandering.
Yeah.
People can feel the difference.
And there's times when Hillary pandered. She adopted accents.
See, I wasn't big on Hillary. Kamala, I was actually
Mm.
more impressed by. But Hillary, I was like, do we want another Clinton in office? I don't know.
It was a lot to ask after Bill. And then
It was.
you're confronted with the idea of Bill living in the White House.
Again,
What would that have been like?
right?
So he's the
What
first.
would the White House aides have in store for them?
Yeah, right. Oh, good point. So he's the first husband. We're asked to believe that he would be not chiming in. It would have been a little weird.
Yeah.
I don't think that was
Yeah.
ever held against Hillary.
Yeah.
But among the things she would do is adopt accents during speeches, and
Which don't be somebody you're not.
yeah, exactly. And it was
If
just
you
awkward.
speak differently than I do, I'd rather you be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
Present who you are as a person
Mm.
and be passionate about the topics that you're running for,
Mm.
and people are going to be receptive to it. But if you're like just pandering, people are going to be like, I'm not even listening, you're just pandering to
Yeah,
me.
it's a great point.
Like people can tell the difference.
Yeah,
I mean, some people can tell the difference, some people can't, but
I agree.
but a lot of people can, and it makes a big difference if it feels like it's pandering.
Yeah, I agree.
That's like every time we have a town hall.
I'm going to send this to somebody in Washington. You can work for Bernie.
I love Bernie. Feel the burn.
I just think you are Michael Jordan before he played basketball. What about
So what? A talentless loser?
what? Well, there are people out there that have not yet begun their purpose. And maybe this is your purpose, activism of some kind.
Maybe so. Maybe
Spokesperson.
so.
You could be the spokesperson for somebody like Buttigieg.
I'm passionate about fairness for everybody.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like rights are not pie.
Hmm.
There's not less for you if somebody else has some.
Hmm.
Rights are infinite.
Hmm.
Everyone can have rights.
Hmm.
And it doesn't take away from anyone else's rights.
Yeah. I tend to think that way on something like gay marriage. I can't imagine much of an argument against that.
We're just
Yeah. Where 30 years ago it wasn't a hit. Probably 20 years ago it wasn't. In fact, Kerry, that ran for president in '04, and his running mate
remember.
Edwards, they both dug in against gay marriage.
Yep, I remember that. And they
that's
lost too,
yeah,
didn't they?
that's just 22 years ago. And I was surprised at that because I don't think they believe that. They just put their finger in the air and said, we can't win if we,
Yeah, if we don't pick something.
yeah, they had to be a little bit right leaning on something. Well, I really think you're just laying dormant, and there's something just right there where you could be an effective person in this realm. What do you think?
I don't know. What my plan
Yeah.
is when I get my bonus, I plan to apply for graduate school for counseling.
Okay.
And so that's what I really want to do.
Yeah. Well,
But who knows what might happen.
and I'll write a letter, and I think anybody watching this will write a letter.
Please don't write a letter.
I mean, a reference letter. That's what I
Yes,
meant.
yes, I do need a reference letter for school.
And I'll be happy to do that because I know the guy.
Okay, good.
That's the director
I need
there.
one in the next month.
Okay. I'm very good at that sort of thing.
Okay, good.
And I've written many.
Because I think I'm ready to go back and get my degree.
I've known some counselors. I've had a counselor with cancer, and also I worked with some, and they enjoyed their career. They
Yeah.
really did.
I have a counselor who really loves me, and that means so much to me.
Yeah.
And I want to be the kind of counselor that the patient feels like they are loved and cared about.
Yeah.
Because they are.
Have you ever looked into the theories of counseling? You're describing someone that I'm thinking of, Carl Rogers,
Mhm.
unconditional positive regard that he
Mhm.
has for his clients. And He's a grandfatherly sort of guy. I don't know when he died, maybe 1990, but they've got many videos of him out there acting as a counselor.
Yeah.
So it's a fascinating field. Doesn't date that long ago. I don't know, 1920s, I guess. 100
I
years.
know. I know. Isn't it crazy
Hmm.
how short of a time it's been since we've been like civilized with mental health?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I hear you. I think of when I first was diagnosed with cancer in 2020, it was right during COVID. And then it happened in September. So November rolls around. It's getting dark early. I was in bad shape. And I'm lucky that I had somebody. His name is Jerry Wilson. He was right here in NAC. So I was really blessed to have him. But it got a little dark, didn't it? But he's still in practice. Great job. Great guy.
Yeah. I have a counselor that I love. I haven't seen her in a while because her husband had like a health issue
Mm-hmm.
and she was kind of out for a little bit. But I haven't seen her in a minute, but I need to schedule an appointment. But I absolutely love her. And she'll like say at the end of our meeting, she'll be like, I love you.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm like, I love you too.
Oh, that is nice.
So I really feel like somebody cares about what I'm saying and
Yeah.
it's not just another another check in the checklist,
Yeah.
like, and I want to be that kind of counselor that says like, hey, I care about you. I don't want you to go anywhere. I don't want anything bad to happen to you. I care about you.
Yeah.
Because sometimes all people need to hear is that like they're worth being loved. That's a big part of a lot of mental health
Yeah.
issues is just knowing that you're loved by somebody, knowing that somebody cares about
Yeah.
you.
I am fascinated by the field. If I had life to do over again, could I do that? I'm not sure. Can I really be a professional listener? Locking in, not checking my watch. And could I do that several times a day?
I think I absolutely could.
I just want the practical aspect to me is if you're a licensed professional counselor, can you have an appointment at 9 and then 10 and then 11? Because maybe at 10:30, you're halfway through the 3 appointments and you become aware of that. And then someone's spilling their guts at 10:50, they're out the door at 10:54, somebody else is there at 11:02, and then you reinvest in a whole other person, another grave conversation potentially. Is that possible?
Yes. You have to compartmentalize.
I just couldn't do it, I don't think.
I'm very, very incredibly good at compartmentalizing.
Yeah.
I've had a lifetime of compartmentalizing. Like, I have so much compartmentalizing, it's ridiculous. So I think that I would actually be very good as a counselor because I think I compartmentalize really well. And say, like, okay, I'm fully listening to you at 10.
Yeah.
And now I'm fully listening to you at 11.
I'm just so, I have to admit, I don't think I would have the energy. Even if I'm just informally talking to a friend about their issues, and we're confiding in each other, eventually we both just get tired.
See, I find it invigorating.
Oh. Well, this is a good career for you then.
Yeah, I find it invigorating for people to confide in me.
Yeah. Well, it's just a wonderful transaction, and we have many counselors here in NAC. I've Googled them.
Yeah.
It's amazing how many qualified and wonderful people there are.
Yeah, my counselor, I use Lyra, the app,
Uh-huh.
and my counselor's through Lyra. I think she lives here in Texas, but I don't know exactly where, which is none of my business where she lives. But she's just really fantastic. She's really fantastic.
Wow.
I've been with her for over a year now, about a year and a half.
Oh, that's a great endorsement.
Yeah, she's amazing. And I never feel like she's not listening. I never feel like she's rushing me. I never feel like I'm not being heard. I never feel like she's distracted.
Yeah. Oh, that would be a major thing. And I've never had one that was. They seem to be fully invested.
And see, I have ADD, so I'm a little bit concerned about like being able to lock in, but I don't think I'm going to have a problem doing that.
Yeah.
Because as long as I'm engaging with somebody, I can pretty much focus.
Yeah. Well, you made a good case then. Well, I hadn't thought about those things so much, but I got to tell you, I did get in quite a bit of trouble in 2020 with mental health. Just the nature of COVID. I wouldn't say they threatened me, but they said, for the love of God, don't get COVID. We will not treat you. Really austere blunt talk.
Yeah.
And I remember pulling up in front of the hospital there in Lufkin and having to do the COVID test in my car. So they're jamming the thing in my nostril
Oh, I hated that.
while I was sitting in the freaking car. All kinds of stuff like that. It was just,
Taking a swab of your brain stem with
Yeah.
that freaking thing that
Yes.
sucks so hard.
it really was. And then how bluntly they spoke to me, I just couldn't believe it. Really, really frank language.
Wow.
And
But you know what? They had to take it so
they
seriously.
did, yeah. I would agree.
Especially in your case.
Yeah.
Especially in your case.
Yeah, I couldn't contract it and then be sidelined for a whole month.
Yeah.
Because we had to get busy on it. It was kind of a surprise diagnosis. I went to have a test done in September of 20 to confirm that I didn't have it, to stop talking about it. My doctor here, actually two doctors here in NAC said, oh, I don't think you have that based on what you've said and what we've seen. And as it turns out, I not only had it, but there was a tumor that was impinging on another organ. So it became not just a cancer, but there were practical implications of the way in which the tumor was. It was a hell of a mess. But, and then as soon as I got that report, it's 800 words, very dense text, and I knew I was kind of in trouble. So I think what was a setback for me is I was expecting to not have it based on some loose remarks from two doctors here that coincidentally both left practice months thereafter. One got divorced and moved away, and one was forced into his own retirement from his own cancer. And so I've never had another conversation with them. Not that I want to rub their nose in it, but it was just kind of shocking.
Yeah.
But I do think often of what that my counselor meant, and just the ability to look forward to his conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what if I were completely alone with this? You know, going to these appointments and everything, to have him to bounce off of was nice.
Yeah. I look forward to talking to my counselor. I love talking to my
Yeah.
counselor.
To have a conversation dedicated to you is a rare thing.
Yeah. And to be able to say whatever you want to and know that it's a safe space. Like, if I want to rage, I can rage. If I want to be unreasonably mad, I can be unreasonably mad.
Yeah.
That's what she's there for,
Yeah.
and then she can tell me I'm being unreasonably mad, and then I can get over it. But I mean, like, that's what she's for. I can feel safe to express any emotion that I have to her.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's so important,
Yeah.
that you have that safe space to go, like, I don't even want to keep living today. I mean, like, if that's the case.
Yeah.
Like in 2024, I had a really, really bad year.
Uh-huh.
I had a really horrible, horrible year. And I struggled a lot with my mental health.
Uh-huh.
It was probably the worst it's ever been. And I'm just so grateful that I had her there to help get me through. And I'm so grateful to my daughter.
Yeah.
Because she was an absolute rock. And my best friend, Audra.
Uh-huh.
They were both just completely there for me. They were at my house at least once a week.
Yeah.
Having movie night with me or whatever it would be, just to help me get through that first year, because it was so hard.
Yeah.
It was the first time I'd ever lived by myself.
Oh, really?
And it was so hard because it was so quiet.
Yeah.
And I had never experienced that before. And I was so by myself. I just felt horrible. But if it weren't for those three people, my counselor and Audra and Carly, I probably would not have made it through that period.
Yeah.
It was so hard.
And now you're really thriving.
Yeah.
And
Now things are good.
It's only 2 years later. You look good. You act so generously toward other people.
Well, I mean, what are we here for if not to make life better for everybody?
Yeah, you're an example for me. I'll throw this in gratuitously. What time is it? 8 o'clock. It's 7:40. I mentioned this on our last broadcast that has been seen by millions of people, man.
Yes, so many people.
But I was in terrible shape in September, October of 20, and Becky wrote me a few handwritten messages to my address. It was very kind of her. So
I feel like everybody should feel like
Yeah.
they're being listened to,
yeah.
and everybody should feel seen.
Mm-hmm.
And you shouldn't feel like just a number when you're going through some kind of horrible situation that's already bad enough.
Yeah.
Who needs to make it worse for you?
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah, you're very kind.
So it's very important to me to be as empathetic and as kind as I can, because they're already going through too much.
Yeah.
I talked to a lady on the phone today. She was just crying
Yeah.
because she had an issue with her mom's health, and she was just so upset. And it was just so great to be able to be there and be like, you know what? This is going to be okay. Like, we're going to take care of this.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to be taken care of. It's okay.
Yeah.
And then sometimes that's what they need to hear,
And
you know?
And I do remember you and I having a phone call. Now, you didn't know me back then. This was our first ever phone call. And you were so kind. I'll never forget that. It was very vivid. It's been 6 years now.
It's extremely important to me.
Yeah.
Because I myself have medical issues. And for the times that I have not been treated kindly, I want to be extra kind to those who are going through it, you know? Because it is hard. And what people don't see is the fighting with the doctors and the finding new doctors and going to specialists and nobody listening to you. And like what nobody thinks about is what all that other stuff that person's going through.
Yeah.
Like let's make the job part easy
Yeah.
because you're already going through so much. I know because I've been there.
Hmm.
Like let me make this easy for you. Let
Hmm.
me help you make this easy because you have enough on your plate.
Yeah. And you live that. I can testify to that.
I'm very, very, very passionate about it. It's extremely important to me.
Yeah. I'm about to become your manager.
I
Like Mike Tyson had a manager. Jerry Seinfeld had a manager.
love Jerry Seinfeld. I love Seinfeld.
You need a manager.
It's my favorite show.
And what I mean by that is you're on the cusp of doing something really extraordinary, and I can't figure out what it is. But
Well, you're my manager, so you need to figure it
yeah,
out.
I'm gonna figure it out. I just feel like you're just pregnant with I don't know what the word is.
I'm not pregnant.
Well, that was a bad metaphor.
I better not be pregnant.
Brimming with potential.
I'd be really mad if I was pregnant. I would have a conversation with God. I love him, but we would have a stern conversation.
Oh. Well, what time have we got there, kiddo? Can you see how long we've
Okay,
gone?
it is an hour and 16 minutes.
Oh, since our redo or just
No, total.
okay.
But I
Well,
think we can sign off if you're ready
okay.
to
We
be
should put
done.
a bow on it. Well, thank you for a great conversation, Beck. This has been a lot of fun.
Of course, thank you, all those people who do listen. I'm
Um,
going to give a shout out to Carly and Audra if they're listening.
well, we'll upload it and get it ready for tomorrow. I'll put a little caption on it
Nice.
or a title on it, I should say.
Okay,
Well,
well,
thank you. This is fun.
thank you all for listening. Have a good night.